Okay, so you want to get the absolute most out of your glass bowl, right?
Yeah. Best flavor.
Effortless draw.
That's what we're all after.
That's the goal, right?
Absolutely.
Simple pleasures.
But simple pleasures.
You know, there's always something working against us.
There is.
It's that gunk.
Uh-huh. The build-up.
That sticky, icky buildup. And it's not just about ruining the taste.
No, it's not.
It makes it harder to even draw in the first place.
Or strict.
Restricts airflow.
Yeah.
And just not a good look.
Not at all.
We're going to call it what it is.
It's just not fresh.
Not fresh.
Right.
Not fresh at all. And that is exactly what we're diving into today.
That's right.
We're going deep
A deep dive.
into keeping your glass bowl clean.
Sparkling clean.
Based on all the research we've been looking at.
All the best info out there.
The mission is to give you a method that's fast,
And cheap.
affordable,
Yeah.
effective
Works every time.
for keeping your glass bowl pristine.
Yeah. Think of it as a shortcut to having that best possible experience.
Because you know those few minutes you take to clean
Yeah.
make a huge difference in the long run.
It really does.
Unlocking the true potential of what you're working with.
Getting rid of all that nasty stuff.
No more clogs.
No more frustration.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're in the middle of something and
Yeah, and you have to stop.
it just kills the vibe.
It really does.
And we're going to talk about some hygiene stuff too.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Because, you know, things can build up over time.
Absolutely.
And you don't want that.
No, you don't.
So we're going to cover all of that.
We'll keep it simple.
Keep it simple and effective.
Yeah, and speaking of simple,
Yeah.
the core of this method is two things.
Okay. I like it.
Simple and effective.
Hit me.
Isopropyl alcohol and coarse salt.
Okay.
That's it.
So basic.
Super basic.
But the research is clear on this.
Emphatic.
Emphatic.
Yeah.
Like these are your go-to allies
Yep.
for that sparkling clean without breaking the bank.
Without spending a fortune?
Okay, so why even bother with this in the first place?
Good question.
You know, some people might say,
Yeah, I don't need to clean it.
whatever, it's fine.
Right.
But the research paints a pretty vivid picture here.
It does.
Imagine
It is this.
you're trying to enjoy like
The best cup of coffee?
the best cup of coffee you've ever had.
Really good.
Single origin,
And small batch.
shade grown,
Roosted perfectly.
whatever your thing is. Right. But it's in a mug
But-
that's coated in old coffee residue.
Oh.
So you're drinking this amazing coffee,
Yeah.
but through a filter of
Yeah.
old grossness.
Yeah. That's pretty much what you're doing when...
And that's exactly what's happening with this resin buildup.
Exactly.
It's clinging onto all the old flavors, muddying up the fresh stuff.
Preventing you from tasting all the nuances.
And from like a practical perspective,
yeah.
this sticky layer messes with how you even draw.
Absolutely.
Like-
They got airflow.
It's literally narrowing the airway in your bowl.
Yeah.
It's like trying to drink through a straw that's getting
pinched.
pinched, squeezed shut.
Yeah.
And that is what's leading to those harsh,
Yeah.
unsatisfying hits
Mhm.
that you don't want.
That nobody wants.
No one wants that. And beyond just like the immediate bad experience,
Right.
we got to talk about the hygiene
Yeah.
because that moist environment from the resin,
It can get kind of gross.
it can get pretty gross.
Yeah.
It's like a breeding ground for stuff you don't want.
Things you can't even see.
That- Bacteria, all that stuff.
It's a real concern.
And the research is evolving.
Still a lot to learn.
But, you know, experts are saying,
They're saying to be careful,
be careful.
clean your stuff.
Yeah, so just from like a health perspective,
Health and enjoyment.
it's important to clean your bowl.
Clean bowl, happy life.
Yeah, so we're on the same page here.
We are.
Clean is king.
King.
So what's in the cleaning toolkit?
Okay, well, first of all,
Yeah.
you don't need anything crazy.
Okay, good.
No fancy lab equipment.
No,
No special trips to the store.
got it.
Just simple stuff you probably already have at home.
I like that.
The essentials are isopropyl alcohol.
Okay.
91% or higher.
Higher the better.
The higher the better, because that means less water and more cleaning power.
Makes sense.
Then you'll need some coarse salt,
Coarse salt.
like sea salt
Okay.
or Epsom salts.
Got it.
Those bigger crystals, they act as like little scrubbers
Oh, interesting.
without being too harsh on the glass.
Okay, so we got our alcohol.
You got our
Got
salt.
both.
You'll need a resealable bag,
Okay.
like a Ziploc,
Uh,
or just any container you don't mind getting a little messy.
sorry.
Cotton swabs.
For the details.
Yeah, getting those hard-to-reach spots.
Right.
And good old hot water.
Can't go wrong with that.
You really can't.
Simple.
Very simple.
And you know, the research even mentions
Yeah, they say.
a small
Like an old toothbrush.
or a pipe cleaner can be helpful.
especially for really, really stubborn patches of resin.
Yeah, those tough spots.
But the main takeaway here is
Accessibility.
accessibility.
Yeah,
You don't need fancy, expensive products.
right.
You don't need to buy those overpriced cleaning kits. You
No.
can get amazing results with everyday stuff.
Love that. Okay, so let's walk through the actual cleaning process.
Right.
Step by step.
Let's do it.
The sources call this the quick clean method.
It's quick and easy.
Nice.
Yeah. So step one, you got to get rid of all that loose debris.
Okay.
Any ash,
Yeah.
leftover material,
Got it.
tap it out gently.
Okay.
Be gentle here because you don't want to accidentally chip or crack your glass.
Right. You're already trying to clean it. You don't make it worse.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've tapped out all the loose stuff.
Now it's time for a hot water rinse.
Okay, just straight up hot water.
Yeah, just run it under the tap for a bit.
Okay.
This is going to help soften up that initial layer of gunk.
Okay. Oh, so it makes the next steps even easier.
Exactly. It preps the surface.
Well, I like that little prep work.
Makes a big difference.
Okay, so now things are getting interesting.
Now we bring in the big guns.
All right, so we've rinsed it with hot water. What's next?
You're going to take your bowl and put it inside your Ziploc bag or your container.
Okay.
Pour in enough isopropyl alcohol to completely cover the bowl.
Cover the whole thing.
Yep, submerge it.
Make sure that alcohol gets everywhere.
It's the alcohol that's going to break down that resin.
Okay, so alcohol is in.
Alcohol is in.
Oh, what's next?
Now we add the coarse salt.
Okay, about how much?
2 or 3 tablespoons should do it.
All right, so we got our alcohol, our salt all mixed together, and our bowl is just hanging out in there.
Swimming in the solution.
What do we do now?
Just give the bag or the container a gentle shake.
Okay, how gentle are we talking here?
You don't need to go crazy, just enough to get that salt moving around.
Get those salt crystals working their magic.
Exactly. The salt is like
Tiny scrubbers.
tiny little scrubbers working their way around the resin.
Okay, we've given it a shake.
Now we wait.
Now we wait.
Patience is key here.
How long are we waiting?
At least 30 minutes.
Okay.
The longer you let it soak,
Yeah.
the more the alcohol can break down that resin.
So it's less work for us later?
Exactly.
So 30 minutes at least? We can let it go longer if we want.
Yeah, if you've got the time,
Okay.
the more the merrier.
All right, so the time is up. What's next?
Carefully remove the bowl.
Okay, it might be slippery.
It might be, yeah.
Okay.
And rinse it really well under warm water.
Okay.
This is going to get rid of any leftover alcohol and salt.
Well, you're really washing it out.
Washing it good.
Okay.
And now for the finishing touches.
The details.
Yeah, those little spots that might still be clinging on.
Yeah, I know those spots.
Grab a cotton swab
Okay.
and use that to target those nooks and crannies.
Get in there.
Mm.
Okay, so we've scrubbed everything.
We've rinsed.
We're feeling good.
What's the last step?
I feel like it's got to air dry.
You got it.
Just let it air dry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's it. That's the quick clean method.
That's it.
Fresh start.
Fresh start.
But what if
What if?
you don't have isopropyl alcohol?
Oh, good question.
Or you just don't want to use it for whatever reason?
Happens.
Does the research have our back?
It does.
Okay, good, because sometimes you got to improvise.
You do.
So hit me with some alternatives.
All right, so option 1,
Hit me.
the classic vinegar and baking soda combo.
Okay.
Vinegar, baking soda,
Yeah.
dynamic duo.
I like it.
So you just pour some white vinegar into your bowl or container,
Okay.
then add some baking soda,
How much baking soda?
just a sprinkle enough to get a good fizz going.
Oh, yeah. I've done this before with, like, cleaning other stuff.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
And that fizzing is the chemical reaction happening.
Breaking down all that stuff.
Exactly.
So vinegar, baking soda, let it fizz.
Let it fizz for about 30 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
You can scrub it with a brush.
Get the rest of that gunk off.
Yeah. And then rinse it thoroughly.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
So that's a good option.
Totally safe.
Are probably stuff you already have around the house.
You probably do.
All right, so that's option 1.
What about option 2?
Hit me.
Boiling water.
Boiling water.
Yeah.
Okay, so just straight up boiling water.
Almost. But there's a very important safety step.
Okay. Safety first.
Absolutely.
What is it?
Don't put your bowl directly into boiling water.
Oh, that makes sense. Glass could crack.
Exactly. It could shatter.
So how do we do it safely?
You start with cold water.
Okay.
Put your bowl in a pot of cold water.
Right.
Then you slowly bring that water to a boil.
Oh, so it heats up gradually?
Gradually.
Oh,
So the glass doesn't freak out.
I see.
Once the water is boiling, let it simmer for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Then carefully remove the bowl.
Wear gloves.
Yep, it's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Rinse it under warm water, and any gunk that's left should come right off.
Okay, so we got our vinegar, baking soda method.
We got our boiling water method.
Yep.
Both natural.
Both natural.
Both effective.
2 a certain extent.
Right. So the research does say
He says,
these natural methods are better for lighter buildup,
mm-hmm.
like if you're cleaning regularly.
Yeah, if it's just a light layer of gunk,
But if you've got a really thick caked-on mess,
then isopropyl alcohol is still your best bet.
all right, isopropyl alcohol for the win.
It's the heavy hitter.
Okay, so now that we know how to clean,
Yeah.
the big question is how often?
How often should we actually be doing this?
Yeah. And the research says
It depends.
it depends, of course.
No one-size-fits-all answer.
Right, because everybody uses their stuff differently.
Exactly.
But there are some helpful guidelines.
There are.
Okay, so if you're a regular user,
What do they say?
clean at least once a week.
Once a week.
Good starting point.
Yeah.
But
But if you're using it more heavily,
yeah.
maybe every 2 to 3 sessions.
No.
Just to keep things running smoothly.
And if you're more of an occasional user,
Mm-hmm.
every 2 minutes might be enough.
So it really does depend.
It really does.
And the research also mentions it says what you're using can make a difference too.
Yeah, like dry herb versus concentrate,
It creates different types of buildup.
different consistencies.
So that's something to keep in mind.
Definitely.
But ultimately, it comes down to personal preference.
Yeah, how clean do you want it?
How clean do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
And the research gives us some good signs.
Signs that it's time for a cleaning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you start to notice a burnt smell
Oh, yeah.
or a stale smell.
Or if it's harder to pull,
harder to draw.
you got to really suck on it.
Yeah.
That's a bad sign.
Or if you can just straight up see that brownish black buildup,
You know, it's time.
it's time.
Time to clean.
Time to clean.
It's for your own good.
And there's a professional aspect to this
Right.
too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like if you're showcasing your pieces, cleanliness is key,
It shows you care.
right? It's like a sign of respect for your craft,
Absolutely.
for the materials, for the people you're sharing it with.
Good look.
Okay, so we know how to clean. We know how often to clean.
Mhm.
Let's talk about being proactive.
Prevention.
Prevention.
Mm-hmm.
Because, why spend all that time deep cleaning
If you don't have to.
if you can avoid it?
Mm-hmm.
And the research gives us some great tips for keeping your glass bowl cleaner for longer.
Yeah.
So less work overall.
Mm.
So tip number 1,
Number 1,
use a screen,
use a screen.
a glass screen or a metal screen
Yeah.
that goes in your bowl,
It acts as a barrier.
catching all those little particles before they can get stuck.
Yeah. Preventing them from reaching the bottom of the bowl. Simple but effective.
The tip number 2,
Don't overpack your bowl.
don't overpack.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Less material means less burning,
Less vaporization.
less residue.
Mm.
Simple.
Makes sense.
Okay. Tip number 3,
Tap it out after each use.
tap it out.
Get rid of that loose ash.
Okay.
Don't let it sit and harden.
Good tip.
It makes a difference.
And this next one is so easy.
What is it?
A quick rinse with hot water
Right after you're done.
right after you're done.
Like a 5-second rinse.
5 seconds
Mhm.
can really help.
It prevents that sticky buildup.
I like it.
And where you store your bowl matters too.
Oh, yeah. Storage.
Keep it away from humidity,
Okay.
dust,
So dust.
and if you're traveling with it,
Mm-hmm.
get a padded case.
Keeps it protected and cleaner.
Exactly. 2 birds, 1 stone.
And here's a pro tip.
Oh, I like pro tips.
If you've got multiple bowls,
Mm-hmm.
rotate them.
Rotate them.
So one can be cleaning while you're using another one.
Smart.
And that way no single bowl gets too dirty.
It's like load balancing for your bowls.
I like it.
Keep them fresh.
Keep them fresh.
And if you're a shop owner,
Oh, yeah.
if you're selling these things,
Selling showcases.
keep those display pieces clean.
Okay.
It makes
Yeah.
a difference in your photos.
In your presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Customers notice that stuff.
You do.
So there you have it.
There is.
Keeping your glass bowl clean
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be complicated.
No,
Doesn't have to be expensive.
not at all.
You've got all these methods,
Mhm.
simple stuff,
Everyday items.
and the payoff is huge.
It is.
You get that pure flavor, that
Mhm.
smooth draw,
Every time.
and ultimately just a more enjoyable experience.
You're treating yourself right.
Yeah, and it's not just about the physical cleanliness.
It's not.
It's about the intention,
The care.
the care.
Mhm.
You're taking the time to show respect for your materials,
And for yourself.
and that enhances the whole experience.
It really does.
So I guess the question is,
Yeah.
what does that connection between care and enjoyment
Mm-hmm.
mean for you?
I don't know. That's a good question to think about.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.